No, look at the other camera, Cubby. There we go. All right, now we're good.
I got you over here. I got you on the left, right-hand side. I'll move you.
Yeah, no, I'm over here. Look at me over here. It is Sunday night. We've all just finished watching the Packers and Dallas play a game that Mike Walter is still crying about. I mean, let's face it. If you're on Facebook and you're a follower or a friend of Mike Walter, we're sorry, Mike. We really are.
Yeah, that was a tough loss. I am not a Cowboys fan, but I am becoming a Dak Prescott fan. That guy, he's a good quarterback, good kid, good all the way around, good all the way around.
So tonight's show, what we're going to be doing is taking bids on who wants to buy Tony Romo for next year. We were going to talk music, but hey, no, we're talking music. We are talking the top 200. This is a list. If you are just joining us, thank you for joining us. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, the link to that list is actually down in the description. You can click on that and you can go see the list that we're going to be talking about tonight, and you can kind of follow along. If you want to be in on the chat room, which they can ask questions and share song ideas and what have you, because we're going to be talking about some of the songs and maybe some follow-up songs. We're going to just talk music, and you're going to be hearing about music from a couple of, one old DJ and Cubby. So, Cubby's a young guy, and he's going to be sharing some of the new hip and trendy things, and I'm going to tell you all about music from the 50s, because that's the way it is, man.
I don't know. I'm probably older than you.
Yeah, well, let me tell my story. My story sounds much better than that. But we're gonna have some fun talking music tonight. So when you guys are in the chat room, if you're on Facebook, we won't follow the chat there. I apologize for that. Come out, find the YouTube. We'll go to youtube.com/discjockeynews. The player will show up. Click on that and come and join us. We've got Williams with us, Reggie, Mark Sound. I've seen quite a few of you. True North DJ, you guys are here. Thank you for being with us tonight. We're going to have some fun talking music. And again, I want you guys to kind of throw some ideas out, especially when we're talking some songs and like follow-up songs, because that's something we can learn from each other on. Hey, that's a great song. I think I never thought about following it up with that. So that'll be part of our discussion. Once again, links are down in the description for the music list we're going to be talking about tonight. Cubby, before we start with that list, let's kind of give everyone an idea. Now, this is composed by DJEventPlanner.com. And this list every year. Troy has put this list out. Now tell us, how does he come up with this list?
Oh, it is a labor of love. It is compiled from the 2 million requests that we get from brides all around the world. As DJ event planners in all the English-speaking countries, UK, Australia, all the brides that use our program and the DJs that provide them with that service to pick their songs they want to hear throughout the receptions of fun family songs, college songs, high school favorite songs. They can compile that list. And so then we take it at the end of the year and we combine it and we find out what top songs were requested throughout the year. And it's just a lot of fun to look back, and sometimes you get in the middle of the season, you might get in that play rut, where you're playing the same stuff, and it's always nice to have a list that you can see what's happening in maybe different parts of the world, but maybe different parts of the country, songs that are popular.
Yeah, for sure. And that's one of the cool things. I always like looking at the list. This is top 200 list, or even back when Moblle Beat had their top 200 list, and seeing that there's some songs I haven't even heard of that are on this list. It's like a head scratcher. Like, but somewhere out there, when you're talking a wide geographic region like the United States or English-speaking countries, you're going to have some interesting things added to it.
And that's why last year we went to from a U.S. version to a UK edition as well, because it doesn't translate well as from the U.S. to UK and UK to U.S. So we actually now have a very own UK edition that we're very proud to have. One of the only people that provide this service for UK customers, and then our U.S. version.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Do you have access to the UK version?
Yeah, it's if you follow the link to djplanner.com, the top two most requested. Yep. On the bottom, you'll see it'll start with the top 200. And then we showcase the top 30 songs through the decades to 2010.
Oh, yeah, right there it is. Way at the very bottom.
On the right is the UK edition. So, and then you can also see last year's list, which I think we'll refer maybe back to a couple times, things that maybe have dropped out of the top 5 or top 10 or whatever. It's you can download all of them into PDF form. All 25 pages come out. Or, like I said, you can print them. It's really nice.
Okay, let's give them the link one more time again. That was...
DJEventPlanner.com /most requested 2015. I'm on the old one, so let me go to the new.
Most requested.htm.
Yeah.
There we go. And then the one with the UK is most requested UK.htm.
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah, just looking at the two lists. I got to scroll back to the top. I popped up the UK one. That would be a show in itself, just combining, talking about the UK compared to the other. But
I know, right? Mr. Brightside. I don't think I've ever played that on a wedding.
I know. Okay, so you guys are gonna have to go with this. Let's look at the top. We're gonna look at the UK one first. Yeah, Mr. Brightside, the Killers, Mr. Brightside, number 2 on that list.
2, yeah.
Happy from Pharrell Williams. Okay, that's number 3. Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody. I have never played a Whitney Houston since the slow song. People are playing Whitney Houston. I have not had it requested.
Oh, I haven't had it requested, but if I get into like a 80s, 90s groove, I'll drop it, and it's been very popular lately.
I've got to try that. I've got to try that. Number 5 with Kings of Leon with Sex on Fire.
Never. Not once.
This is where we need Brian Red, who likes to talk about his UK music and how that plays out. Then we got Living on a Prayer, Summer '69, Shake It Off. We'll get into some pretty standard stuff. Bruno Mars at number 13 with Marry You. That one I probably was coming in. I'm thinking about, and I'm not sure exactly where where they would use that, because I've seen people use that for a recessional.
Yep.
But I haven't. Otherwise, and then go ahead.
How about Queen? Don't Stop Me Now.
Yeah, that's where I was going to. There's 2 more that make really kind of maybe 3 more. Queen, Don't Stop Me Now at number 14. Number 15, We Found Love from Rihanna. Okay. Right. Beyonce is okay. I can understand it. Come On, Eileen at number 17. Wow, that's a little higher than I would ever imagine. Beyonce, Crazy in Love at 18. Moves Like Jagger. Valerie from Mark Ronson.
Never heard of it.
I haven't even heard of it. So
wow.
Yeah,
everybody else has.
Yeah, you guys get a chance to go check out that UK one. It's interesting for those of you who are wanting to check out some different. It might be some songs in there as you're going through that, things you haven't heard of that you're like, hey, that's a pretty good tune. Which Brian Red, if you guys have followed our Tuesday night shows, he talks about a lot of music that is popular in UK that isn't here, that didn't even hit here, wasn't released here because of labels and such. That is stuff that we've lost out by not having. So
yeah, Brian's amazing. His knowledge is infinite. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's got quite a. Okay, Mike had that. Yes, Mike did this morning. Mike Schnauder had the link on his Sunday with Mike show and talked a little bit about it. Whitney's best slow song is "You Give Good Love." Now she's got a couple of other ones, and Lori and I used one of the songs for our wedding. So that would be the one that would be. Now don't ask me what it is. It was our. I Will Always Love You. There we go. That's
from the Bodyguard.
Yep, that's what we used for our wedding dance, which is ironic because so we chose that as our first dance, but then we ended up finding another slow dance that has become kind of more of our song.
What is it?
Really like the song from Rod Stewart.
Oh,
You're in My Heart.
Yes.
Yep. Kind of a nice little song that has become more of a meaningful or a neat song that we. And of course, she really likes the new one from Thinking Out Loud. She really likes that one too.
And that is on ours.
That will be. 9. That will be. We'll get up there. Let's start at the bottom. Let's start at the 2. What we're going to do is kind of bounce through the list. We're not going to spend a lot of time on each song. We're going to point out a few here and there, the kinds that are like what, and then things that we use and how we use it a little bit. So. Cubby, let's go from 200 up to, I can get about 20 on a page. So I think we can get 200 to about 81 in this first run. First off, down to 200, Mumford and Sons. I can see it being requested. That's one song I have only played in the bar. I've never played it at a wedding. Yeah,
I will wait. I might do during dinner. I might do as a dinner request, but never done it. Like during a dance.
Yeah, exactly. We got Daryl Hall and John Oates with "You Make My Dreams." I still think it's a very solid song. "Run Around Sue," Robin S. There's as I'm scrolling up, there's some. Yep, there's some good stuff here. Your song from Elton John at number 193 is actually Elton John has been making kind of this resurgence in my request charts.
Yeah, Bidding the Jets. I had that one recently, and I was like, oh, it brought him out.
Yeah,
but it was my bride and groom were older that year.
Well, and I look back here. I was just going through my albums today because I brought my dad came over and I was showing him you go and you spend a lot of money so you can make those things sound as good as a CD. I mean, that's the kind of world we live in. Anyway, so Dad was over and we were pulling out, and it's like, goodness, playing some of that old Elton John stuff over a good sound system. It's like, dang, that sounds really, really good. Really, really good. Okay, so let's continue on up. Anything else that kind of jumps out at you in that in the list there?
No, number 182, Teach Me How to Dougie. That I haven't played that in a while. Usually middle school dance, high school dance. I haven't played that one in a while. I'd love to get back to it. Hot Blonde Bling has always been real popular. One More Time by Daft Punk. I've never done that one.
Oh, I've played a bit at a wedding. Maybe that's more of an introduction. That's how it got onto the list.
Yeah,
I could see it being used for an introduction.
And I think, like I said, sometimes they'll just put the songs in there, and because these lists are in. And if you have our program and you've worked with brides, some do, some don't use the list, and they just put their songs that they want in there for introductions instead of putting in the introduction place.
Yes.
And so if it's, like I said, they meant for it to be an introduction, but it's still requested, I can see how I can make the list.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, let's jump up to the next 20 because as we get higher, we're gonna be focusing on some of those a little bit more. There's a few songs in here. At 180, we've got Young MC with Bust a Move. Bust a Move is probably one of my would it be a guilty pleasure song?
Yeah.
I mean, I like that song. I like to play that song. I just wish it would go over better at more events. It's like, oh, man, this would be a great song, great time to play it. And then when it doesn't work, then I feel like I want to cry a little bit.
I think as our brides are getting younger and we are getting older, the Bust a Move is a little tougher to play.
But yet, kind of correlating that, It's Tricky from Run DMC is one that kind of, when I have the right crowd at a wedding that can play one, then it seems like the other works pretty well. Usually I will use It's Tricky to be the feel it out song. And it's like, ooh, we can maybe do a second one.
Yeah.
And then if we go deeper than that, that's where Humpty Dance or something to that effect will start to play into the crowd. And then after 2 or 3 of those, and they're like, "Can you play something new that has a beat?" Shut up, Grandma! Can't you see I'm mixing here?
Can you see I'm having a great time by myself?
Yeah, leave me
I'm
alone.
loving these songs.
Leave me alone to my world here. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, Reggie mentioned that the Dolly Parton version. Yeah, she did a really good version of that also. I don't remember if that one was released when we were. I would have to see when Dolly did that one. If it came after we were married or about before. But at that time, I really wasn't into country music because the only country music I had would have been Nitty Gritty Dirt Band and the Oak Ridge Boys. That would have been about it as my DJ world. I mean, I had very limited country music back then. So Dolly Parton would have been just screaming country music to me, and I would have left that far, far from. Okay, so let's go 180 through 161. The Bust a Move, of course. Hadaway's What Is Love? I've had people request that, but I've never had people really wanting to dance to it. They've always just want to do the...
They always want to do the movie from with Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan. They always want to do that dance. Knives Roxbury.
Yep, Roxbury. Yep, that's and that's about the extent of it. Nicki Minaj, Starships. I actually use that one quite a bit, surprisingly. Even last night at a company party, it was one of the songs I mentioned in the chat room. That last evening company party had about a 30% Latino desiring crowd, and that was one of the few songs that was a crossover enough where they came that I had both the English-speaking crowd and the Hispanic-speaking crowd come onto the floor for one song, and that was Nicki Minaj. Otherwise, it was very segregated to a point in who was out there dancing. So, who would have thunk?
Yeah, it's a good crowd interaction song when she talks about putting her hand in the air in the chorus to get them to put them up. And
and then they're drinking Bud Light, so that's always everybody who likes Bud Light or something. At 173, Belle Biv DeVoe, Poison. It's another song. I love the song, and I've never gotten it to work at an event.
Nope. Never trust a big butt and a smile, John. Yeah, I love the song too, but
it's one of those things. If I were going to be doing some bumper music, say at a DJ convention, yeah, you would find probably that song in there. Yep. But that and Black Box, Strike It Up, or something to that effect. It was all in my head. but they never work. It's like, come on, people, these are good songs. My head, it's great.
I love my request.
Number 170, Thrift Shop, is a song that's still. Last night, people in their 60s were out dancing to it. It still has that, but if you guys remember some of my videos where I had talked about Thrift Shop, I was at a couple of family events actually, and I shot with my cell phone and did hey, this is why I get my music from music services. Listen, and there's the F-bomb being dropped right in the middle of the song because it's the DJ in those events. There were, I think, 3 family events that I went to that summer. They just bought it right off iTunes or somewhere where it was the explicit version.
Oh, man.
So, once again, the list is great, and the songs can be fine, but you got to make sure you got the right edits.
That's right.
That's huge.
I'm at number 169. I've never played. I like the song Levels, but it had to be almost like a techno crowd.
To a point, it would be. And then the temptation is there because they're just the same song. Good Feeling from Flo Rida.
Yep.
They're there. So, I mean, you just gotta, and those of you who know even with Megaseg, I could beat mix those 2 songs together to go from one to the other and back again, even with Megaseg. Now, of course, I've gotten more fluent with Virtual DJ. That's no problem whatsoever. I don't even bother to do it anymore because I can do so much better. But Levels, that's the only reason I play Levels, is if I want to use it to add more color to Flo Rida song. 168, Work From Home.
Yeah?
Yeah, I had a couple of requests at high schools for it, but it didn't go over at high school. So I'm thinking it must have been some younger brides who thought, oh, this would be cool. It's a new song.
Right. I've never used it either.
165, Big and Rich Save a Horse, Ride a Cow. I would expect that to still be higher because that is still, in our area, still gets a huge response. I mean, of country music, it still kicks butt.
Yeah, it's a good sing-along song. It's a great beer drinking song. It gets all the people out on the dance floor. They sing it. They know it, especially near the end. I play it. If I get a request, like somebody wants some fast country, that's one of my go-tos.
Yeah, I mean, in my top 5, that would be in there. Fishing in the Dark is still in there, and Man, I Feel Like a Woman from Shania Twain are in the top 5. And I just off the top of my head, I can't imagine. I'm not sure what the next ones would be, but I mean, those are Mountain Music would be there.
Yeah, I like Garth Brooks, Ain't Go Now the Sun Goes Up, or Callin' Baton Rouge. If you got some real country dancers that can swing.
Callin' Baton Rouge is fabulous.
And I'll wait for that to see if I can see as I'm playing Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy, if I'm playing Fish in the Dark, or Man, I Got a Woman. I see if they're starting to swing to it. I might drop a Callin' Baton Rouge or Ain't Going Down to make them swing harder. Yeah,
Save a Horse, True North DJ up in Grand Rapids mentions it's requested at every wedding. Yeah, and he and I would be in a similar market. Vape Liquid in a Fog Machine.
Yeah.
Ian, I would think, of course, Ian sometimes likes to mess with us. Even when they were adding scent, for those of you wondering, for a while you could put things into the fog fluid, and they were having scents you could put into the fog fluid. And what they were finding out is some of those scents were actually leaving too much residue in the foggers. So then, the foggers kill themselves anyway. And I don't know if the vaping thing. I think if you want to have scent in there, there's actually a couple of companies that were using it at Mobble Beat, I think 2 years ago, for that scent in the room. It was fabulous.
Right.
It's fabulous.
And then, they had one that was chocolate. It kept making me hungry every time I walked by.
The one of them was chocolate cake. It's like,
yeah.
Okay, now we're stopping today's sessions because we're going to go eat, and then we'll be right back. Okay, let's see. Continuing up from that one, What Makes You Beautiful from One Direction is at 161. With younger people, it's a nice song. It has it's not offensive, and it can work for the younger, the junior high girls. They still catch on to that. I still, with that age group, will use a One Direction, and that would be my first one in that One Direction world. Okay, let's jump up to the next 160 through 141.
All right.
What?
A little Respect is good. I can't tell you the last time I played Marcia Griffith's Electric Boogie or Electric Slide.
Really?
I
don't play it as much, but I bet I played it maybe half a dozen times this year.
Have you? With so many others, the Cupid, the Cha-Cha, the Wobble, and so many of the newer ones, I feel like the electric slide has kind of gone away. And I'm in Iowa, and we're pretty traditional.
Yeah, I guess I could see that it isn't as used as it once was because there are so many. But I have those mothers who only hit like one wedding or two weddings a year, and they still know the electric slide.
Yep.
And that's something to keep in mind as you're doing your music play and your music pulling, is that you have some people in that crowd who only hit one or two weddings a year, and maybe not even that. So they're more familiar with maybe what was 4 or 5 years ago more popular. So you'll play Cupid Shuffle or Teach Me whatever, and they'll be like, "Oh, what? Oh, but I know that one." So
yeah,
don't want to completely discount, but yeah, it's not like it was. Cupid Shuffle is obviously the go-to right now. 158, just below it, was Amazed from Lone Star. At one time was probably like within the top 5 in the charts, but time has not been as good to that song as it could be.
Nope, dropped down to 158.
156, Clean Bandit. Rather Be. No idea.
Yeah, not hitting either. I don't know if anybody else has heard it or uses it.
Yeah, if you guys know where that came from, Clean Bandit at 156. Rather Be, RATHERB, as in BE. No idea what that's from. So we'll give you guys. We're going to go to the next song. If you know anything about that, put it in the chat room here because I'm no clue whatsoever. We had Aretha Franklin, Respect, which is a staple in your oldies.
Yep.
Continuing up at 151, Titanium is another one of those songs that is you listen to it and it's like, oh, this song's got some potential to do something. I just haven't found what.
Right. Yeah, I'm the same way. I listen to the radio. Oh, that's a pretty cool song, but I can never seem to work it into a mix anywhere.
And that's that. I would think that's about the only way you could do it is to somehow mix it in where you get in and out of it quickly. And that's more of an MJ question of how do you drop that in? Titanium's kind of a head scratcher for me. I love this, but no, never played here. Okay, so if anyone knows anything about that song at 156. Which was, again, Clean Bandit, Rather Be. Let's see, kind of going up, we had The Twist at 149, which is, right below it at Dynamite, 150. That one is probably, Dynamite is in my play almost all the time. I cue it right to the, where he throws his hands up in the air sometimes, and I'm coming out of something, and it's either it's going to be one of these songs that comes along and I don't know, has a moment where I can just go boom and slam into it. So the crowd is and all of a sudden I hear him, I throw my hands up, and they were like, yeah. I did it again last night, and I had some of the younger ones who were like, that was awesome, and I had some of the older ones like, sir, there's more of that song to play.
You missed it.
You forgot. You went too early, sir.
Just skipped ahead. Your 8-track skipped ahead.
Can you please go back and play the rest of that song so I can do my jam? Okay. Yeah, it was an interesting night. Let's see. The Twist. Some people play the hell out of that song, and I just don't play the Twist. And I'm going to give you guys a little insight. Troy and I are good friends. I was his best man at his wedding, so he and I have been together for a long time and know each other. I never played the Twist, and Troy had played it all the time at the weddings, and he did his little routine. He does a routine with the Twist thing, and it was really kind of cool. He actually was at our anniversary party that we did, and he actually came and did that at our anniversary party. It's like, wow, that's really, really neat. Never copied it.
Ask him now. I've got to ask him tomorrow. About this Twist thing that he does.
Yeah, ask him. It's not that he's doing a kind of a leading, or as far as he's vocalizing and getting the crowd to be involved and such. It's an interactive thing he did with it, but it was cool. But again, I can't get into that song. Troy. He was from. Let's see, he's down from True North Assets. He was from Morris. He was up in Alexandria, and now they have relocated down to Iowa because Cubby said the cheeseburgers are better in Iowa. So
we do have good cheeseburgers,
and that's enough to get Troy going.
And coffee and donuts. He loves.
He loves coffee and donuts. Yeah, that's for sure. Good stuff. Okay, so let's see. Bruno Mars, Treasure. I love the song. It can't be used very often, but boy, that's been kind of one I've been using as I'm segueing from dinner to dance, because it's got enough of an upbeat, but it's not quite where people were going to be openly dancing to it, but it's really starting to get them thinking that, hey, we're going to do this. It does a few things for me. It shows some of the younger people that, hey, this guy does know or does have some more modern music, although it's not super new. But he's got some of that, and it's not the older folks. Some of them will know, hey, I know who Bruno Mars is, and I like that song. So it really can appeal across the board. So Treasure at 148 is one I play an awful lot of, but it's just never in a main dance setting.
Right. Same thing with Better Together. Number 141 is more of a dinner music for me.
I've never played it.
Dinner music, cocktail, dinner, not bad, but never during a dance.
I'll have to go listen to that one. I've never played. I might know it, and I might have played it after Brian Red told me about it, and I didn't know it then. I know we've talked Jack Johnson a couple of times, and I've been like, what? Yeah, and there's Valerie at number 145. Valerie from Mark Ronson.
Over, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll have to check and see. I'm gonna have to look that one up. Just gonna check.
And that's why I like these lists, because people are finding these songs that I might not be great in my market, but we're always some like a year or two behind that on fashion and everything else. So I think, like I said, sometimes these songs might be coming across or be popular in the East Coast, West Coast, and slowly makes their way across here. So I'm excited about the list that DJ Event Planner provides.
Yeah, some good stuff there. Let's see, there was another Brick House at 143. The interesting thing with Brick House is this is something that photographers and videographers and venues all laugh about, is that the first song DJs will open a dance floor with is Celebration, and the second song is Brick House. And they laughed at saying, well, what are going to be the first two songs we hear tonight? And this is across the country, as I've talked to different, this is where the butt of the jokes, because of Brick House and Celebration. So to show them that I am not a man who's going to follow this horrible thing, I switched them around and I played Brick House first.
Are you serious?
No, I played Celebration.
Did you roll into Twist, right?
And then I did the Twist, and then I came in with Valerie. It was great.
Start the night off with a bang.
Okay, so I'm going to scroll down here. So we're at 140 through 121. Frankie Valli's one at 140 with "Can't Take My Eyes Off You." Frankie Valli is an incredible talent, no question about it. I just don't play any of Frankie Valli music, and it's not because he's not good. I even have a greater appreciation after watching Jersey Boys, but I don't get a response from the music that much.
Right, it's not a major request for me either. I like him. Like I said, love the movie, love the play, and that doesn't do anything for me either. I think it's more of an East Coast thing too.
Could be. I think you're definitely right. That's probably why we're seeing that. It's a great point.
138.
Yeah, 138 is where I was headed to next.
That's like an ending. I know it's on one of our top ending songs tonight. "Take Me Home Tonight"
from Eddie Money. Yeah, 138. Yeah. Eddie Money has actually been an interesting, because I think that when he did it, was it a Geico commercial or whatever commercial? He did a commercial where he was singing "Two Tickets to Paradise," I believe it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that particular commercial, he became kind of known to some people. And I've had Eddie Money requested. Probably if you'd put like Eddie Money and Journey's obviously going to be number one requested in it, but Eddie Money is requested more than Foreigner or Kansas or any of these other. He's definitely moved up, so definitely something you want to be aware of if you're not familiar with Eddie Money. 137, Jason Derulo, "Want to Want Me." This is another song that I love. It's got the beat and the sound and such. It's just like, this is an awesome song, and it doesn't work for me to play. And sometimes I want to play it at a school, but I'm doing videos and the video's kind of skanky, so I don't do that. And then it's like,
I think there's a couple other Jason Derulos that work better for me, than that one.
But I played it last night, and again, it hit the crowd and at the right time, and it went wonderfully. But I had I wasn't playing at a wedding where I could be offending anyone, and I wasn't doing this. It was kind of like more of a bar gig last night, so I have an adult crowd. I thought it went well. 136, Piano Man. I think that's probably got to be in that top closing song list.
Yeah, end of the night always. I would never play that in the middle of a dance.
Yeah, not so much. If you're in central Minnesota, and even if you're around the country, there's a little college called St. John's University. Yes. They're right down the road from me. And the big thing with St. John's is that the students or people from St. John's, at the end of the night, you do the song, they get in a circle, and they're all doing that thing, and then they drop trowel. Yes,
they did that down here at a wedding at the Temple of Performing Arts, and they said you got to play it. Had no idea when I was going to play it, what was going to happen. And they said, yep, they were at that Catholic school up there in Minnesota. Didn't tell me what the school or anything like that. Next thing you know, all these guys got their britches down around their ankles.
Singing away.
Yes.
I mean, and if you guys have seen Screamin' Scott, when he does his ending routine to this is how a big finale. This adds a whole new meaning to it when he's sliding across the dance floor and he's sliding into the belt line of guys with their trousers around their ankles. I mean, I think I'd change my routine quickly.
Yeah.
But anyway, Piano Man. So just if you getting towards the end of the night and you have people coming up and saying, "Hey, can you play Piano Man?" Just ask them, are you familiar with St. John's University? If they say yes, expect pants on the floor.
Yeah.
James Taylor, How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You is a nice song. It's a dinner cocktail song. It's never a dance.
Cake cutting. It's one of our top cake cutting songs.
There we go. That's where it must come from then, because I could not imagine it being dance floor. But again, as you say, people putting things in.
Yep.
Number 131, Stevie Wonder, Signed, Sealed, and Delivered. I never got into some of Stevie Wonder's music until we started going to Vegas and watching the light show in front of the Bellagio.
Oh, really?
Or you're going downtown and watching the show down there, because they've used some of Stevie Wonder's in both of those shows over the years. And because I think Signed, Sealed, and Delivered was used at the Fremont Experience.
Ah.
And that's like, oh, yeah, that takes me back.
I'll have to go down to Fremont Street when I go to Mobble Beat this year and see if I can find if that 3-song set will come up.
Yeah, they've got some really cool. Let's see, just looking at that. Reggie mentioned Who the F is Alice. Yeah, that's. I don't think that's going to make the list tonight, but that's a regional thing, depending upon who does that one. But the song is "Living Right Next Door to Alice" is another name for it. Same song, different artists.
Yep.
Okay, back here. Let's get up to 121. Queen's Crazy Little Thing Called Love. That's got to be used somewhere in the. It's not a dance song. It's got to be used somewhere else, I'm sure. Unchained Melody, definitely something for your dance floor.
Yeah, slow song. If it's if you're going between, you're looking for not a country slow song, but you're not looking for a new slow song. It's always a classic to go to.
What would you pair up with that? I want to do 2 slow songs. I want to be genre specific. What would you pair up with that?
I never do 2 slow songs back to back. I do one and roll out.
Well, that's why the population in Iowa is really starting to be depleted, and why there's so many more people having children in Minnesota is because we play slow songs.
They start grinding, and I don't want to.
I know. It's like, they get these 30 and 40-year-olds out there doing it. And actually, with that Chain Melody, you get these 60 and 70-year-olds.
I don't want to see that. I do not want to see that.
So to answer my question, since my favorite is I love to go to an Elvis. I use an Elvis to match up with that, and then I can bridge out of that. Occasionally, I have used "What a Wonderful World." If I want to go into depending upon the crowd, if I have the right crowd, I will do Unchained Melody, and then I'll go into Color My World from Chicago, and then that takes me into a 70s set. So I come out of like a 50s, 60s type set, Unchained Melody, Color My World, 70s set.
That's it for you, yeah.
Yeah,
we just don't do 2. We just don't do 2. I might try it next wedding.
Yeah, it's Unchained Melody. It's a little longer than some, but some of those are still so short that people are halfway onto the dance floor, they're 2/3 of the way through the song, and they're finally getting there, and it's like, oh man, I feel bad for that lady who finally got his lazy butt away from the bar. Let's do a second one. Superstition at 126 from Stevie Wonder. Love that song. I wish it would go over better.
Yeah.
A Major Lazer with Lean On at 125. Let's see.
New Climbing, though. I mean, as new as the song is to be at 125,
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it has to have some move to it.
Let's see. Proclaimers is still around. I'm going to be 500 miles. That's
Never ever done it. You?
I haven't played it in years, but yes, I've played it.
I do when I do trivia, as I'm like picking up papers or whatever. I'll slap it on and the whole bar starts singing it. But
yeah,
I've never done that at a wedding.
Yeah.
Number 122, John. If you've never played it, it's here in Iowa. "Die Happy Man" by Thomas Rhett is very, very popular.
Is it a slow song? I don't.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a great slow song. It's and it's fairly new. I say within the last year. So it's a climb up to 122. It's got some movement as well. But "Die Happy Man," put a check mark by that. Put a star by it. Give it a shot next time you're rolling into a country set or looking for a country slow song.
Cool. I'll definitely check.
New. Like some of the stuff that we talked about. Some our Save Horse Ride, Cowboy, and Nitty Gritty. Those are kind of old country. So this is Thomas Rhett's like a new artist and really works well.
I will definitely have to check that out because I struggle with the new country. Hey, play something that's newer. And it's like, well, most of the newer stuff just isn't danceable stuff. It's really
mid tempo.
Yeah,
mid tempo. You don't know whether to dance fast or slow, and I don't like it either.
Yeah, so then they dance quickly but slow.
Yeah,
or something.
Yeah, the 6 people.
Aerosmith at 121. Don't want to miss a thing. I still use that one.
It's a good potty break song. That's got 4.5 minutes. You got time to run the restroom if you have to. That's a good potty break slow song.
It's generally one that I will use towards the end of the night myself, especially if the crowd is a hair bit older. But then even high schools, that song I get it requested at high schools a lot yet.
Huh?
I don't. I don't know if there's been. Last spring, I know the 2 proms had this. My homecomings, the 3 homecomings, they all had it, and it wasn't. And maybe part of it's because I played it and played the video, and I did that at a prior dance, and the kids are like, "Hey, I remember that. That was a really cool." Da 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 da.
Yep.
So.
Doesn't that video? I don't do video DJing, but doesn't that video have a little Armageddon in it?
Yes, it is. It's all based.
Yeah, it's all based on it. Yeah, that's a great movie.
Yeah, so that might definitely be part of why that is so popular. Why it worked for me. Okay, we're going to jump up to 120 through 101. Our next 20. At 119, Prince makes the first appearance with Kiss. Kind of interested. There probably must be a couple. I would think there's a couple of Prince songs in this list today.
I would hope. I haven't looked all the way through up. Like we're going through it detailed now. We just published it recently, and so I haven't gone like we are now, going kind of step by step through it. But I would think so with his recent passing and is kind of going big.
Yeah, well, definitely. Trap Queen at 118. I played it, but not at anything short of a teen dance.
Right.
117, Staying Alive from the Bee Gees, still is a very solid song. Jason Moran's I'm Yours. I really like that song.
I do too.
I play that. I play that quite a bit at my stuff. 115, Time of My Life must be another one of those ending songs that just gets put in the wrong spot because it's that horrible tempo thing again.
Yep.
Slow, and then it's like, well, do you slow dance? Do you fast dance? What do you do? You just sing along.
Yep, and then you try to jump in their arms. There are always those people that are like, "Oh, run and jump towards me." Yeah.
That's right, and that's where the word header comes from.
Yeah.
Let's see.
113. That's a good.
Ignition still works for you.
Yeah.
R. Kelly's Ignition at 113. I have not had luck with that in a long time. Yeah, people are like, "Can you play the Ignition remix?" Sure, and it's like, no.
That's kind of, to me, it's like a nostalgic high school song for millennial brides. When you're rolling little Nelly and you're rolling little, like a 90s set, and you drop that. To me, it's kind of like a nostalgic song for him.
Mm-hmm. Right above that is the Grease Mega Mix, and Reggie was asking a 7-minute version of the Grease mix. I bet I have a half a dozen different versions of the Grease mix. DJs remixing these over the years and such. The somewhat funny story with that is I never really paid a ton of attention to the Grease Mega Mix, but I guess there's a couple of offensive lines in that song.
Yes.
And I never really paid much attention to it. So when it was getting requested at the Catholic youth rallies that I do, by some of the chaperones and some of the advisors were requesting that because they could sing along, and I never thought anything of it. And everyone is fine. And then talking to another DJ, and he goes, "You do realize what it says?" "No, it doesn't say it. Does it?" He goes, "Yeah, it does. It does." So I went to...
Every year I do a camp dance for kids with cancer oncology camp, and it is a staple. I mean, they ask for it, and as soon as the clapping starts happening, they break up into two sides. All the girls on one side, all the guys on the other, and then they start singing back and forth. Who could be the loudest? And They go back and forth. And if I don't play it, I would be strung up. I've just played it for so many years. And if I have a real interactive wedding party, and the crowd's just been real interactive all night, I will split them up. Get the bride and groom sing to each other on that last after the clapping song.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what there's some different interaction things we did with it. So that's why I didn't think anything about a couple of lines that would be like, oh, well. Now, of course, with controllers and things, where you can hit that reverse button, and when it gets that, where he's singing about his wagon.
I think I have a clean version. I really do, because I've never had anybody complain about it. I'm going to go back and listen now that you said it. I do think I have a clean version.
Yeah. He talks about having a wagon, about the car being a wagon, and it's like, whoa! Right about that, Luke Bryan, Country Girl, has been probably of more recent country music, has been one of my more requested tunes. I've had good luck with that.
Yep. Me too. With my country side, like you said, your top five, I'd make it 4 or 5.
Yeah,
it's 3.
Firework from Katy Perry. Rick Springfield, Jesse's Girl.
Never for me.
Really? Oh my goodness gracious. That's very, very, very common at a wedding.
I'll give it a shot. I'm going to give it a shot next time.
It's got to be put in a spot though, because it kind of starts out with a guitar, and I've done it where I've cut the guitar out, and it has a completely different feel. So you need to have that dun, 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 at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I close my eyes. I think Rick Springfield's right in front of me.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, it's got to come out of like a slow song or something that comes with a big and then a crescendo and then you come the guitar back up and you'd be like, Michael Bublé, Everything is a great. If you use iTunes and you do the Genius stuff with iTunes, this is a kind of a cool song to take and have a Genius suggested playlist of your music with everything, because you find some hidden tracks, especially if your songs are labeled properly. iTunes finds some really cool stuff in your music library. So just a little tip, I did that, and it's like, oh my gosh, I have 100 songs, which about 80 of them were decent, of a playlist that a person could just use for like that upbeat cocktail time. Fabulous. Shots. Now, Cubby, I heard this is your favorite mother-son song, Shots from LMFO at 107.
Actually, Mother Son or the Anniversary Dance.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Wow, the Anniversary Dance. Every time, how many years? 60 years. Shots.
Actually, you laugh, but this is my last call song. When I have to do last call at the bar, I'll hit Shots.
That makes complete sense to me compared to when I'm at a high school event and some like yeah. So, I was doing a 7 through 12 dance a few weeks back, and one little 7th grade boy, and it's 7th grade because you haven't even thought about puberty yet. He's this little 4'9" or 4'3" thing, whatever. He comes up there and goes, "Excuse me, sir, can you play Shots?" It's like, kid, you're not even tall enough to be even thinking about. You aren't even taller than that bottle of Windsor that they're singing about. Go sit over there in a corner.
Yeah, they and then they're torn between whether to go to the last call and get their drinks or they stay and sing
Along. Yeah,
it's fun to watch the dilemmas going through their mind. Like, okay, do we go to the bar or do we stay and sing?
Mark's down. Does anyone else want to go do a late night practice session? Yeah, Mark's. That's I find, especially when you've got things set up. It's like you go in there. I brought my dad. We're tangenting. Because I've got that area set up with the music, and I brought my dad and my uncle came over because we were here for a birthday. They were here for a birthday party, so we came out. We started playing some old LPs and such, and going through some stuff. And then my dad starts throwing out requested things, and which is kind of interesting because Dad I grew up obviously listening to what he did, and now he's pulling out things that he never played or listened to when I was a kid, and it's like, wow, I didn't know you knew that, or that was in your genre of what you would listen to. So, but he wanted to hear specific things because it's on those little Denon studio monitors that are back there are fabulous. And he's like, do you have that? And it's like, no, but by the next time you come over, I will. If it's out there. Okay, Guns N' Roses' Sweet Child of Mine at 106. I've played it at weddings as a request late in the night when the crowd is winding down, but there's that one person who's like, can you play it? No, yeah. Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up. I've never played that any time that it wasn't a joke.
Right, yeah, you rickroll somebody.
Yep. And I have had that at weddings where the bride wanted, I think it was earlier this spring after prom season, the bride wanted me to get on the microphone and really make this beautiful presentation. And our next song is going out to Emily from Stacy. Stacy wanted you to know, Emily, that she just appreciates you always being there, and she's just and then going on and just really building this up. And she has a song that just really wants to let this song speak to your heart. And then it's cute too. Never gonna And the crowd, there was enough of them that knew what the Rickroll thing was, and they thought that was the funniest darn thing. Better than Emma thinking, what's wrong with that DJ?
Yeah.
That happens. Okay, let's jump up. Kanye at 101. I mean, that's going to become the Donald Trump new theme song come Friday. He had to do it gold. He'll become the official band. I love that. I actually love the Gold Digger song. It's got kind of but I never play it.
I don't either.
The bar I did.
Wow.
But it's, just.
When it charted, not on our chart, but when it charted a long time ago, I'd play it, but I haven't recently.
I could see, again at the bar, yay. If I'm playing Gold Digger at a wedding, what am I really saying? What message am I sending?
Yeah, it's true.
So, and that was something I didn't think of until, Brian starts really, I mean, yes, you the obvious ones, but then he starts, think about that song. What is it really saying? It's like, don't make me think. Quiet. Let me live in my own little fallacy world here. Man. Okay, 100 through 81. We are now breaking the top 100. We are going through the songs here of the top 200 here from DJ Event Planner. We're going to take a quick little break here, and we will be right back.
DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
All right, we are back. We are working our way through the top 200, and thank you for being with us tonight. A lot of good music here. The link for this list is down in the description of the video. You can go check that out. If you're watching this on Facebook, it's going to time out here in about 30 minutes, and I apologize. The best thing to do would be go to youtube.com/discjockeynews, find the YouTube video, because that will stay and be here. And as long as we don't sing any of the songs, it's not going to get flagged. So, Cubby, we're going to have to refrain from singing.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, I know. We were going to get in the top 10, and you and I are going to do that duet. It was going to be beautiful. If you guys remember Ebony and the Ivory, this was going to put that to shame. I mean, I'm just saying. But we'll see. Okay, at 100, Zach Brown with Chicken Fried.
That's one of those mid-tempo songs I was telling you we were talking about earlier.
That's where it's like, is it this or that? Is it that or this? Where do I put it? Do I put it with the slow song, or do I keep it far away from slow song so they don't... So you re-drum it and pitch it up.
There you go.
Tempo the sucker up. 99, My House from Flo Rida was actually a big song for me this summer. It worked everywhere.
Yes.
It worked at their house. It worked at their house, and it even worked at. Last night it worked very well too. 98, Louis Armstrong, What a Wonderful World. Great slow song. It's going to make it work just about anywhere. Just Dance, Just the Way You Are. I'm kind of going up Gangnam Style. I haven't had a request for that 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. I haven't played it freely. I mean, just upon my own accord ever.
92, Macarena is making, I'm hearing it making a comeback. That people are asking for it. I've had a couple of requests for it, but it's been in the last 10 minutes of the night. Can you play a Macarena? And it's like, no. Can you go home? Go sit down. You know,
I'm the same way. It's been even in middle school dances. I've noticed that it has made a I don't know what it is. I don't know if they're teaching it in gym class. I don't know if they're.
Well, this is one of those songs. If you listen to the lyrics, it's a little bit sketchy and probably not a good message to be sending it to a junior high class. But as you say, they've been requesting, and that's when I'm in a junior high type setting. That's when they were asking for it in the last half hour. It's like, kid, I've got some great stuff lined up for the last half hour, and that's not one of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't know that. Didn't even cross my mind.
Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody is just a standard. We got that, and then Ice Ice Baby right above that. Just some solid stuff. Drake's One Dance is at 89. More Sex on Fire at 88. It's not happening. I wonder if that's getting back to that's an East Coast. Must be more of an East Coast thing. At 87, Bob Seger's Old Time Rock and Roll. That's something that's still a staple in my playlist, but I'm surprised the number of DJs who are like, I never play that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what after I come out with slow dance, like you were talking about Chicago coming out, and you're going into the 70s or whatever, I would hit Old Time Rock and Roll.
I've used that exactly coming out of that. Because especially with that beginning with the it's perfect.
Do you slide across the floor in your underwear? Like
I actually wanted to up my game, so I've decided to go without the underwear.
Oh,
but
slivers
when you're sliding across the floor like that, it gets to be a long week afterwards. I'm just saying. But anyway,
Magic John.
So after the Old Time Rock and Roll and we're gonna probably get to Cecilia, but we're gonna talk about it now in case we don't. Those two are two songs that if I play one, I'm getting a request for the other one. Is that in your market too?
Yeah.
Okay.
It just rolls.
Yeah, they just kind of go together, and I've had that numerous times with those two. Can't Feel My Face from The Weeknd is one of those songs I would love to. I trim it so I can get into it quicker.
Yeah.
Because it's another one of those songs, though, kind of like the one that Jason Derulo I talked about earlier. Is I'd love it to do better on my dance floor, but it just doesn't quite.
It's a kind of a slow until it hits, but it takes a long time for it to hit.
And even once it's hit, I've gone and I've mixed into that, and the most success I had was I mixed into it and I mixed out of it. So I basically cut the refrain and a verse, and boom, I was out, and that went well. But it's like it loses the crowd, and maybe you guys have a different experience with I Can't Feel My Face. Skid marks, yeah, buttery. That would be skid marks. Those aren't the kind that you'd want to have. Okay, just kind of checking the chat room. So yeah, that's another one. Disappointed. Let's see. Benny King at 83 with Stand By Me. A classic song. I love the song. I just don't play it.
If you ever do a dollar dance in your neck of the woods, I drop it for that because it's a non-creepy love song. It's one of those,
That's a good idea. I've never played it there. I'm going to add that to my. That was a really good idea. See there, I just paid for the price of admission right there. Thanks, hubby. DNCE with Cake by the Ocean. Great tempo song, great all the way around, except the message of what they're singing about is probably kind of creepy if you know what Cake by the Ocean,
sex on the beach.
Yeah, so aside from that, if you can take that part out and not have grandma out there singing, she wants cake by the ocean. That's the part that gets a little creepy as grandma's out there with her walker and she's jamming and she's going, yeah. We get some pretty spunky grandmas up here in Minnesota.
Do you? Yeah, they're little girls. Yeah. I gotta come up and check out one of your weddings.
The last in the 81 is the Rednecks. Cotton Eye Joe is still another one of those dance floor staples for us. There's numerous, depending upon region of the country, that they'll have a line dance, a slap and leather type line dance to that. That I know that's what it's called. It's kind of creepy and weird, but yes, that's what we do up here is a slap and leather to Cotton Eye Joe. There's also the Cotton Eye Joe Schottish, which I'm sure many of you know, but if you're not familiar with it, it was who did that one? Oh, I can't remember. You look it up though. A Cotton Eye Joe Schottish, and it's a country version of the Cotton Eye Joe. And they do a Schottish dance to that around the dance floor. And if you're in the right situation and you have somebody an older person asking for Cotton Eye Joe, it could be this version or it could be the other version. Make sure you clarify. For those of you who are more into country, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. You probably have run into it more than I. And remember who the guy is that does that one. I just can't remember. Let's see. Does anybody have? Gosh, I can't remember who does the shot. Grab your partner, no-si-do. No, we're gonna do the Cotton Eye Joe.
I don't know that one.
And there's the fiddle in there, and it's what you say? Yeah, Cotton Eye Joe, and then they do the shottish. It's I can't remember. Somebody might know. We'll check back here in just a second, see if somebody remembers who does the Cotton Eye Joe shottish. Okay, so let's go jump up to 61 through 80. Trains Marry Me. I've had people request it, but again, it's not a.
To me, they're already married.
Yeah.
It's
too late. It's too late, man. You guys are already there. You just quit rubbing it in. Let's see. Call Me Maybes is there. The only thing I like about Call Me Maybe is taking the video that the Harvard baseball team did.
Yeah. And
I put that over top of the actual real song. That becomes something that people are like, oh, because it's actually kind of cool watching the baseball players do it. At 78, 1,000 Years that song's actually really kind of grown on me.
Has it really?
It's kind of a slower song, but it's a kind of a almost haunting.
Yeah, to me it's more of a ceremony song. I use it for the bride. If she doesn't do the Pocket Bell Canon in D, or she doesn't do the Marry Me. I've done a lot of 1,000 Years as she walks down the aisle. And guys has a good version.
Isaac Sweat, yes, thank you, Trino. Yeah, I could definitely see it being used for that cubby. That'd be a kind of a cool thing. But I just kind of like the song. I don't know. It's one that I really wasn't into until a bride requested it this summer. It's like, oh, that is really that's a beautiful song. Not quite as beautiful as 76 at number 76, Salt and Pepper's Push It.
No.
I mean, that one just speaks right to your heartstring. Push it real good. Let's see. Continuing 74, Thriller from Michael Jackson. Can we just play the 30 seconds where everyone does this and this and this and this and this and then be done? Instead, we've got either the 4 up to a 45-minute version. And I really don't need to listen to Vincent Price. And now we're going to be creepy and weird.
Yeah, I drop out of it by then. Yeah. Once I get to do that, and when he starts talking, I drop. Yeah.
And Vincent Price was, he's good at what he did. Don't get me wrong. But, yeah, it's like eventually your dance floor. Got to go.
And at 33, Forever by Chris Brown. I wish that thing would die.
That was a YouTube thing. I'm thinking, and people are like, oh, I want to recreate that, man. Yeah. It'll be great. So if you haven't seen the Chris Brown Forever YouTube thing, go out there and do Wedding Party Entrance Forever. Search that, and you'll see. It was cool, but
at the time, 5 years ago,
everyone and their cousin is now trying to do that. And yes, I had someone who was. I still had somebody last summer who wanted to do the one where the guy did the history of rock or whatever it was, where all the little clips of the song, history of dance or the evolution of dance. There we go. I still have people, asking for that. Can you put that together? And it's like, no, not anymore. I used to. I still could. I have the skill, but no, I don't want you to look like that person.
It was so 1999.
I'm not gonna let you be that person. 72, Get Low from Little John and East Side Boys. There's nothing like talking about them strippers. All you strippers got to get out of the club now because we're going to come in here and party. There's nothing at a wedding to play that right after you toss the bouquet and the bridesmaids are all out there, whatever, and then you play that.
Well, see, then your bouquet toss has got to be move, bitch, get out the way.
And then see, he says now we're getting somewhere. So at 72, Get Low from Little John.
Honestly, John, I play that late in the evening. I'll go from Usher to Get Low, to Little Nelly, to the R. Kelly, and then it's just that 90s. But it's late. I mean, I'm not dropping it early when it's
that's definitely a last hour.
Yeah.
Definitely a last hour. I mean, earlier, if I want to play that type of music, I've got some Flow Rider stuff that you used earlier. That's. I don't want to say because there's edited versions of Get Low. I've got things that have been cleaned completely. It's just there's nothing there. Yep. That kind of thing, and it works. And I'm not saying I play the profane version at an event, but I play it later because people are always going to be talking about sweat dripping from their ear.
Yeah, but see, mine is always edited. Just like you said, all my stuff is edited. I get it from Prime Cuts, and a couple different services are phenomenal. So mine is the radio version, and so they're not going to hear this, the bad stuff.
Yeah, and it works. Let's see. Cyndi Lauper at 70. I'm thinking that's a bouquet thing with girls just want to have fun. Sexy and I Know It. The only reason I still play that song is because I've got a video where we use where they in the video somebody made a video of dogs, Boston Terriers, and the little Boston Terriers are dancing around and whatever. It's cute.
I've used that for wedding parties with a skit that or a thing that I do with that. It's one of my biggest ones.
Cool.
I never played for that.
68 At Last from Etta James. Love that song. Power ballad. Great tune. I just wish that when I play it on the dance floor, it doesn't go over as well as I would like, unfortunately.
It almost has to be an early night. Once again, with aunts and uncles and older people there.
Yeah, I think that's probably the big kicker is that it's got to be where the older, because younger people are like, oh, that's a wedding song. I don't want to dance to somebody's first dance song. Where the older people are like, oh yeah, it's a beautiful song. Let's go. Speaking of beautiful song, Party in the USA at 67 still does well. Even at high schools, I've done pretty well with it, but not playing that in that first hour, because at high school it seems like the first hour you got to basically establish yourself as somebody who knows the more modern music, and then in that maybe second end of the second hour, the last half of the second hour, then you can drop in a little bit more retro. Works well. 66 Village People YMCA. For a period of time I had a routine that we did with that. And I go in cycles, or like a year I'll do the routine, and then I'll take every year I don't, because there's people who see me at multiple events and such. And right now, people are doing their own little thing so much with it that the routine they don't look up and say, DJ, entertain us kind of thing. So
what was your routine?
Just have dance sequences, like they used to show on stage at the All-Stars event where the guys would get there, hey, everybody, follow me, do what I do. And they would do their thing. And I had a full dance.
I used to bring out props with that cowboy hat and Indian headdress. I stopped doing that. But yeah, I used to do the prop thing where you bring out the cowboy hat, the Bob the Builder hat and stuff, and people used to love wearing them. Then it made it kind of fun, but I haven't done that in about 2 years now.
I think part of, and when were the Village People at Moblle Beat? The guys
3 years ago.
3 years ago, and that actually probably slowed me down a lot in my play of it, because I got to go into the back rooms with the guys, and they're nice guys, don't get me wrong and such, but they kind of creep me out a little bit. Let's just put it that way. The guys,
you didn't want to go buy a pair of chaps and be the cowboy, the biker guy?
No, I wasn't about to go buy chaps, and I wasn't about to pick up the soap on the floor, if you know what I'm saying. So it just kind of creeped me out a little bit. So I still play it, but maybe my enthusiasm for the song isn't what it once was. We'll put it that way. Let's see. All About the Bass from Megan. Still solid. At 64, You Make Me Feel. It's a song I love the song, but it just doesn't go well.
Right.
I want to say 63, Don Omar.
Yeah, Danza Kuduro.
That is one of the songs I should have played last night.
Yes.
And I did not, because I recognize it now that I see it. It's one, I think they had mentioned that's one of the Latin songs to play, to go to. And I didn't, I didn't know. I feel so bad.
If you had printed out this list,
I would have at least had one.
You would have recognized it.
And then I would have had Mr. Brightside, or up a little higher too. So I got
Stuck on fire. You're gonna drop right after that.
Pour Some Sugar on Me, another rock classic song. Cheerleader from I don't know. Do it.
You gotta have the remix. You gotta have the remix.
Yeah, you gotta have the mix. There you go. You gotta get a beat behind it. Got to get the beat behind it. So, okay, we're gonna hit. Bounce up. We're going to continue on to 41 here. Let's see. I'm just checking. I'm just trying. Where you swap DJs from one region to another. That would be interesting.
I read an article a long time ago. Somebody did one, and they talked about what people do in different. A guy did a lot of extensive research about what they do in the Northwest and the Northeast and the South, and it was really interesting. Really, really interesting. what people do.
Oh, for sure. Just Mike Schnauder and I did a Northern versus Southern wedding, and it was a good show. It was a lot of fun talking about the differences. And Mark Sound, yeah, you could take me to a hood party in D.C., and if I had enough security, I would play that country set.
Yeah.
It's all about if the security guys are big enough, I'd do it. Give Me Everything at 59 from Pitbull. Never played it. Maybe
I have a couple times, but yeah, not a lot.
Come on, Eileen is at 57. Sweet Home Alabama is 58. When requested. Get Lucky from Daft Punk. I've never had it work for me.
Yeah, me neither.
It only worked that year at DJ Expo. Over and over and over again. Whip It, Watch Me. Last night, 60, 50 to late 50s to early 60s. Three gals in that age wanted to, and they did there.
Showing their grandkids they still got the moves.
Whatever it was, yeah. Foundation's Build Me Up Buttercup is kind of a cool. It's an older song, but it's an upbeat. It's a good little song. If you aren't using that in your sets, there's two versions of it. One has vocals where they're talking from the movie, and then there's the original. Go for the original.
Oh yeah, I don't do the movie one. I've never even heard of the movie one.
Yeah, it was somebody released it, and I have it in my collection.
I'll be there.
Old Crow Medicine Show with Wagon Wheel. It had a resurgent because of Darius Rucker doing his version of Wagon Wheel, and I've had more people say, "Yeah, we want the old Crow one," because the original. They wanted the original. Mr. Brightside from the Killers at 50. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sister Sledge, We Are Family at 49. Temptations, My Girl. My Girl still used a lot as a father-daughter dance.
Yep.
That gets there. Spice Girls Wannabe was actually a well-requested song this past year at my schools again.
Really?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, can you play that? It's like Barbie Girl and Wannabe are kind of two of the throwbacks for some of the schools I do. Okay. Yeah. Dancing Queen is a song that had completely fallen out of my disco set. I just didn't like it, and now it's been getting requests again. So it just doesn't seem to work as some disco songs as well as some of the others. Right. So, but it's people are into that. I don't know. It seems like it's about a 17-minute song though when you're playing it, and the dance floor is kind of dwindling as you go. It feels really long. 42, Flow Ride is Low. Definitely a go-to song.
Yeah.
Across the board. Baby Got Back at 41 is a song that I do not play often, but when the right in right situation, it still has legs.
It could get played out.
Definitely. And
if everybody else in your market's playing it, it's better that you don't play it because sometimes it's great to be different.
Yeah. And I personally I don't play much. If I play Mix-a-Lot, I will. If somebody says, "Hey, can you play some Mix-a-Lot?" I would go and play.
Jump on it.
Jump on it. Thank you. Where I basically just go right into it, where you get about 40 seconds of the song, and where he does the thing, and you can kind of lead the crowd doing that, and then boom into something else. I don't like to stick into that too long.
No, because it is such a long song, and then they go from all the area codes from here to here, and it takes too long.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, come on, dude, you're sounding like my magazine subscription, the way it bounces around the country, Yeah, your newspaper was in Florida, then it was in Texas, then it was in Utah.
702.
Let's see. So we're going to go 40 through 21. We've now broken the top 40 here on our Sunday night top 200 show. Let's see. Move Like Jagger. Nothing. It's been like dead zone for about a year and a half, 2 years now. Yeah. Jumping up to 38 with Bryan Adams, Summer of 69, still holds well. Timber from Kesha, actually, what is that? I think that's 3 years old now.
Yeah, but to me, it's a good transition from country to new. Sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. It's held very, very well, and it's actually come on stronger, I think. Yeah. DJ Snake Turned Out for What is one of those songs that I play about this much of it, and I just use that as a build up to something and then slam into something else.
I do sometimes at the end of the night if I got them like everybody singing and it's like real slow and slappy and it's been one of those off the hook chains, off the down. I'll say, we can't end like this. I'll scratch out the slow song and hit turn down for what, and then I'll go hit, and like you said, then roll into something else. It's like last song to end on a high.
Yep, exactly. Crazy in Love. Beyonce, as much as I appreciate her talent in different things, I don't play a lot of her music.
I don't either. I'm not. Yeah.
The Way You Look Tonight at 34 from Frank Sinatra is one. There's two songs that are kind of for slow songs that are this is one. And the other is Put Your Head on My Shoulder from
Really?
Those are two that I like to play, and kind of some of my surprise songs that I like to throw in.
I'll be darned. I like I go from The Way You Look Tonight into Can't Help Falling in Love sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Very nice. And they're both back to back here. So
yes.
Friends in Low Places is one song that I wish they'd have made a music video for. Would have been nice. But
really, don't have one.
No, they only have a live music video, and I've got a friend who chopped it up and made a music video of it. So, but it would have been nice if they would have done a studio real one.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson's at 31 with Billie Jean. Yay. Still does well. Message of the song, probably not wedding appropriate, but hey. Blurred Lines at 30 is another good song that had, during its time, everyone was requesting it.
Yeah,
even though they
I've
really
played it in a while though.
Yeah, that's after what people were, all the things that were behind the song and what people were reading into it, what have you. But boy, for a moment in time, it was. Our local news station, that was their theme song at the state fair. They were playing it, and that was just when it was hot that summer, which was Get Lucky and Blurred Lines all we heard at DJ Expo that summer. But by later in the fall, when people were saying, that's about him creeping on her, and I'm just saying that in a nice way. Yeah. Then it probably wasn't so good anymore. 29 Single Ladies, of course, is probably used for a garter activity, but that is one of the few Beyonce that I will play on a semi-regular basis because it still goes over well. Animal House's Shout.
The only one I use.
It's the right one, and it is a classic. September, Earth, Wind, and Fire. It's not one I use too terribly much, but it's something that I have learned to work in, and I didn't use it probably until about 8 years ago. And it had been around way before that. AC/DC Shook Me All Night Long was, for the longest time, had to be played in the last 20 minutes of your show.
Yeah.
It was always that way. I don't think I played it in the last half hour of my show. I worked it up into the show a little bit earlier. Sometimes, like as in last night, it was at the end of the first hour, about in that ballpark. Let's see, that was at 26, 25, Outkast, Hey Yeah. That's another song I always wish it would do better than it does.
Yeah.
Can't Stop This Feeling, Justin Timberlake's at 24. I don't get a good response from that. I'm thinking it's on this list is because everyone looked at it and heard that it's the song of summer, and brides were like, ooh, I better write it down on my list.
Yep.
It doesn't.
It works for me though.
It's okay, but it isn't like, some songs when they came out, it wasn't like Blurred Lines. When Blurred Lines that fall, when Blurred Lines was out, you could drop that and people were like, ah! They were screaming for that song. I don't get that with Can't Stop the Feeling. Even if I go into it and get right into the meat of it right away, no, not so much. 23 Kenny Loggins with Footloose. I love coming out of a slow song and just getting that beat, that boom, boom, and then the older folks just Beatles Twist and Shouts. If I'm going into a little deeper 50s, 60s set in the course of an evening, that will be played, and that's where, like Brian Redd, I think he uses Twist and Shout and the Twist and Shout. Actually, I think he puts all three of those songs together. Now that I think about it, we're gonna twist, then we're gonna twist and shout, and then we're gonna shout. That kind of a thing.
I see where he's going with that.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a method to his madness. And then John Legend's "All of Me" is a really pretty song that.
I stopped playing it for a while. I might have to go back to it.
Let's see how we're doing here in the chat room. Those guys are having a drink. Maybe that's what we're doing wrong here. We should be having a shot.
Oh, I'm missing that.
I know. We don't get any of the fun here. So we're getting up to the top 20 here. We have been at this for an hour and 15 minutes. Oh, Cubby's like, how long is this going to take? 45 minutes. I'll be done. Sorry.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't know what to expect.
Exactly. Thankfully, you don't have someone walking back behind you with their pants around their ankles and getting ready to play Piano Man.
Those are my kids, yeah.
Exactly. Don't do that. That's Dad's routine. Anyway, we're going to get to the top 20 in just a second. We'll be right back.
DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
Back. All right, we're up to the top 20. If you're watching this, oh, well, you're not watching it on Facebook. Facebook shut off a few minutes ago because, well, we exceeded the time limit. Sorry. That's why you go to YouTube. That's why the people on YouTube are awesome, because they're, first off, in a chat room, and secondly, they're still with us. We're going to talk the top 20 on that link. The link is down below. It's djeventplanner.com/mostrequested.htm. The UK version was most requested UK.htm. Go there, check out the list. You can see that there's the top 30s, the 30 most from each. Cubby, what are all some of the specialty?
Oh man, yeah, it's phenomenal, John. You've got everything from the top 30 songs from the 2010s through the 2000s. Cake cutting songs. If your bride's always at a loss for what song do I cut the cake to? Introduction songs. Top 30 songs for great introductions. Gives your brides great ideas how to use them. I'm sure we know a lot of those already. First dance, in case you're stuck on it. Father-daughter, mother-son as well, and then wedding party dances. One that I really like that provides your brides is a couples dance, like the anniversary dance,
right?
And a ceremony processional and recessional. So instead of them having to go out to search the net, they can actually go to your website if you have this bouquet, garter, all that stuff, and they can go to your website, and you'll be the knowledgeable person. It'll seem as though you have all these songs. So they're not having to go to the Wedding Wire or a Google song, say what's the best song to bouquet toss to. They'll have that resource right there at their hands.
Very cool, very cool. And having that resource and being that information portal for your clients is awesome. Awesome. Okay, so we are pushing into the top 20 here, just checking the chat. Mark Sound, Can't Stop the Feeling, mentioned that the industry really pushed that song because of the return of Timberlake. And not that it's a bad song, don't get me wrong. I like the song. I think that they could have, I think a remix of that song would have been golden. But I think that with the tempo changes, and you guys, some of you have heard me talk a little bit about adding the drum beat below the song with Virtual DJ 8. That song, when you do that, it actually becomes a usable song. And when I was doing that for the high school dance, the kids were like, "Whoa, I like this version. Which one is it?" It's called the John version.
I did that myself.
I'm so smart. Okay, 20 through 21. Starting at number 20, Party Rock Anthem. 130 beats per minute of excitement and fun. We've got Love Shack, another solid one. Love Shack, what do you put with that?
I will roll from Love Shack into maybe Footloose, or Footloose into Love Shack, and like roll into some 80s. How about you?
Yeah, I usually use that at the end of my 80s, and I'm going from my 80s set. I like to hit maybe an I Love Rock and Roll, and then follow that up with actually then I'll drift back a little bit with You're the One That I Want, and then from You're the One That I Want to maybe Mickey, and then work my way to Love Shack, transition into the 90s with We Like to Party or something to that effect, depending upon where I want to go.
I haven't played Mickey in years. See, now I got my price of admission.
Mickey is one of those songs that just is hung in there, and it's still. And if I don't play it, like last night again, can you play Mickey? Okay, sure.
Priceless.
I can play it. I've got the music video too. It looks awesome. Maroon 5, Sugar. Yeah, don't play it. Doesn't make my top 20 for sure.
It's a cake cutting song.
There we go. And I don't cut cake. I tell people you just keep that cupcake whole and just smash it in their nose. Yeah. No cutting. You no cut. 17, Cha Cha Slide, which between that and Electric Slide, Cha Cha still has much more appeal. That one I will get more requests for that. I mean that's probably Cupid Shuffle is probably for line dance is number 1, and then half as much the Cha-Cha Slide. So if I get 10 requests for Cupid Shuffle, I'll get 5 requests for the other, and I'll probably get 2 requests for Electric Slide. That kind of a progression.
How about the Wobble?
The Wobble is I've had that, but I only at teen dances. I really haven't had a request for a Wobble or the Wobble at other events. So we do it at high school dances. I mean, it works fabulous there. But I haven't had a wedding request that yet. Rihanna, We Found Love. Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, I know it. I've got it. I played it, but I wouldn't put it at, especially in a wedding. That must be somewhere used somewhere else. Brown Eyed Girl kind of fits into that that old time rock and roll and Cecilia and yeah, in that realm. Usher's, yeah. There's that getting towards the end of the night.
Yep.
But actually, I've moved that one. Depending if I'm not doing music video, I can move it up. But if I'm doing music video, I think the video is just a little bit. It might be a little bit too racy for earlier in the night, and Grandma might get way too excited. I don't want to be responsible for a pacemaker going out.
No.
So we move it. Make sure we do it a little bit later. Wobble, yeah, it's got a music video, and I think if I'm not mistaken, the video is clean. Everything's good with that. So yay, rah rah. Bruno Mars, Marry You. You said that was a recessional.
I've done it for recessional on weddings before.
And that's the one that had a huge. Somebody did a YouTube video with that, wasn't it?
I check it out.
I believe so. I think that they did a really elaborate. I think that if I'm not mistaken, that might have been the one where they did a really elaborate YouTube video where she sat in the. Was that the one where she sat in the back of the car and the family was dancing behind the car as they were going down the road? They pop out and they come out and they dance and sing to her and then you'd have to check, but I believe that one. And maybe some of you guys would remember that one if cause I think it was the Bruno Mars Marry You. It's a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I want to marry you.
Yep.
No, I don't want to sing it, But.
Yeah, because we don't want to get YouTube to flag us because we would be like in pitch completely perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, that Pitch Perfect movie was really it was the Cubby and John story, but we decided that we'd make too much money off the rights, so we just signed off on it. So
yeah, I
didn't want to put us into a different tax bracket.
I want to stay as low as possible.
Yeah, exactly. So, so if anybody remembers, okay, well, Wobble gets the big girls into the party. Yeah. Wobble, baby, wobble, baby. Yeah.
Yes, it does. I don't know what that, but yes, it does.
It does. Bon Jovi at number 11. Bon Jovi is such a great one to play because of it being a video DJ, it has multiple appeal. First off, everyone knows the song. It's a party anthem. Secondly, is you play a Bon Jovi video and you've all of a sudden became very, very popular with the middle-aged ladies. Many basically from 40 on up remember or have seen, or even 30 on up. And let's face it, Bon Jovi has aged very, very well.
Yes.
So definitely. I Got a Feeling was huge for wedding party things.
8 years ago.
8 years ago. Yep.
I haven't done it in I could tell you how long.
Yeah, exactly. I used to have a little routine we'd do with the wedding party, the guys and such, but again, that's been shelved because it was years. Ed Sheeran's Thinking Out Loud is probably one of my most requested slow songs right now. It was a big summer. It'll be interesting to see what it does for 2017, if it's still going to be popular or if it's going to be replaced by something. But I've had some really cool weddings where they've done some really neat things with it, trying to match that dance feel with the choreography a little bit, but the lighting and decor. I think I've got the video out there, or maybe I haven't put it up yet. But we did a wedding where we did the lighting, and I had it all programmed on the iPad with the ADJ DMX device. So we could hit a scene and the lights went this way and then this way and covered them as they were moving back and forth. It was really cool. And it was all controlled on the little iPad, so I didn't have to be doing that. That was number 9. Number 8, Cupid Shuffle. Talked about that. Very solid song. Sweet Caroline at number 7. A sing-along song.
Yep. Big down here for Iowa State fans.
Yeah.
Big for Iowa State fans.
Goes, pretty much everywhere with that. Number 6, Happy. I don't play that. I bet I haven't played that song. If I played it a dozen times, I'd be surprised. I don't think I've played it.
I'm the same way. It's okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad that he's happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Bobby McFerrin said, "Don't be worried, be happy."
Yeah,
so,
exactly. And
he is happy.
Yeah, let's continue. Taylor Swift, "Shake It Off," still does pretty well.
T-Swizzle, yeah.
Yeah, it appeals probably to that upper 25 and beyond. The kids are like, yeah, no.
Right.
Yeah,
we're over T-Swizzle.
Yeah, we're done with Taylor. Walk the Moon, Shut Up and Dance, from little kids to old kids, works. just works.
Sometimes I roll into Cake by the Ocean after that. Kind of
Exactly.
kind of nice.
Exactly. So first we told Grandma to shut up and dance, and then we told her what we really wanted to do.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Number 3, I want to dance with somebody. I've got to spend more time setting that song up. I wonder what I'm not envisioning how to set that song up, where I would use it in my show. And I think too much about it, and I just should be like, oh, here it is, blunk.
Yeah, I drop it, and sometimes I'll do Wannabe right afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's kind of I want to dance up, and the girls sing to it, the guys not so much, But if you're working and we have some guys they're out the bar, they don't dance till they go grab them, and it's mostly ladies on the dance floor. To drop this one right here and watch them sing it, and then drop into like a Spice Girls Wannabe. That's my jam. So
yeah, that's incredible. Yeah. Mark's still mentioning that some of these songs are 40 years old and still, 40 plus years old and still, even the youngsters. I mean, "Don't Stop Believing" is number 2, and that song is, I mean, it's older than Cubby and I. But
yes,
but it's still. Last night it went. It's every high school it goes. It was, and because of being a video DJ, the version I have is Journey singing, but it's a lyric video, so that the kids or whoever can sing along, and they do this little routine to it. And I'll have at a high school dance, it'll be like, okay, you guys, if you don't know the lyrics, here it is, and it's on the screen. Go, and then I'll have, and then okay, now this part, I want to just hear the freshmen go. All right, sophomores, it's you go.
Who can hit the high note? Who can hit the high note? When I get the high note,
And you just play with the crowd on that when the lyrics are. I've tried to do it, and a couple of times I didn't have videos, and it just doesn't work because they're like, oh, I don't know this song.
See, I here in Iowa, the kids know it. I can get them to sing it, and then when we go to that guitar part near the end of the second refrain, I'm like, who brought an air guitar? Next, everybody's air guitaring. I left it in my car. I left it in my car. But from the beginning, and sometimes at weddings, I'll say "small town girl," and I'll say that's Lori, and then talk about a city boy born in South Detroit. I'm like, that's John, but it was actually South Alexandria or wherever wherever the groom's from.
Yep.
And the crowd thinks it's kind of cool because you've personalized it.
And tying it in. Cool, good idea.
But you always got to know where the groom lived. It can't be. I'll be whatever his town is, but it's not, it's South Des Moines or South whatever, South Alexander, wherever you're from.
Wherever you're from, yeah. And then wrapping up our list is Uptown Funk, which still strong song, goes over well.
And sometimes I'll play that early in my set because it's so hot. Because now you got 24K, you've got some other songs that you can carry out throughout the evening.
Yep.
To drop Uptown Funk kind of early now. Mike Walter did a video about going hard and going early, because sometimes I'm going to save this to like the very end. Well, there at the end, then what'd you save it for? And so I really like it. Really hit home what Mike Walter said, and to go early. And so I'll drop some of the stuff and really do stuff early, and then you still, like you said, the Miley Cyrus later in the evening and stuff.
Exactly. Yep. I think that's a great point. Some of my early songs, which this isn't how it used to be, is. I would, the Brown Eyed Girl, Cecilia would be an early one. Uptown Funk would be would be my first hour. I'll do YMCA in that first hour. And then of course somebody mentioned the chicken dance and the hokey pokey. If I've got kids, I will do those. There's times I'll do the Cupid Shuffle in the first hour at a wedding. The idea that I'm trying to do in that first hour is I want to go and show some variety of music. I want to play things that, like Uptown Funk has a wide appeal. Because it is so strong in adult contemporary charts as well as top 40 charts. So it's going to cover the gamut. That's what I'm really looking for. So I will do, they'll stay alive in that first hour. Of course, this is all after I played Celebration and Brick House.
You got to start with those. You got to kick off with those two.
I did those two first. But after that, I found myself with weddings that's been a much stronger to kick that off, hit it hard in the early part, because there's some people who they're only going to be there for an hour or two because of babysitter situations, what have you. Yeah. So it's like, we're going to hit this hard. And then for some people, it'll be like, oh, wow, this is the best wedding I've ever been to. I'm not leaving. Okay, great. Or, wow, this is the best wedding I've ever been to, and I got to go because my babysitter's leaving. And, well, they're walking out thinking that this is the most awesome. And then once the people have had their, the rest have had their drinks and everything, we can do Miley Cyrus later, and they'll think, oh, this is my jam. Where earlier in the night they'd have been like, oh, her.
Yeah. Yep.
So it definitely has its moments and its time. So, Kibby, for those wondering, again, give us a little background on DJ Event Planner. Let's hit that one more time.
Well, yeah, I don't know if anybody in the chat room is currently using DJ Event Planner. You can sign up for as little as $10 a month, but you can provide this most requested songs where your brides can go on there and request all these songs and fill out an online planning form. But not only that, it's just not a form site; it's a whole business management site. You can track payments and send out receipts, invoices. Track all your clients. One of my favorite things is scheduled emails. That really takes back my time as I'm working with so many brides that these emails go out on a scheduled basis. Check availability, request for information form. When the leads come in, I get them instantaneously on my phone and also in an email so I can work them. It's amazing. It's an amazing platform that it's for business management. Just not a form site for planning forums and that's it. It's actually total business management.
Very much so.
Call me tomorrow. Sign up tomorrow. If you're not one, sign up for the free trial, and I'll help them set it up with their documents, their invoices, contracts. We have electronic signatures. Yeah, e-signatures on contracts. There's just so much to talk about, John. I need another 30 minutes. I know we don't have it.
For sure. Yep. We've done numerous videos, interview with Troy at the booth and talking about some of the functionality and different things. There's just it's a full suite of tools. You don't have to use them all.
No.
You can use parts and such, and you can implement them slowly and such as you go, because it is overwhelming. I'm not gonna lie to you, gang. It's a lot. I use parts of it. I could use a lot more, but you put things in, and as you go along and add, and as you get comfortable with what you're doing, and there's a lot of neat stuff. So I can go to djeventplanner.com. You can click on the thing to sign up for a trial, and then sign up for that. Give Cubby a call, and he'll talk to you and walk you through some things. And
it's so once you get it set up, like I said, like you talked about, it could be a sports car. You either drive it in fifth gear or you drive it in third gear.
Yep.
And maybe just get it set up now. Then you can kind of revisit it when later on in the year. And go, okay, well, I want to tweak a few things and use it a little bit more. So it's a phenomenal best one out there, I feel.
Yeah.
And I've used a couple of different ones. I haven't always worked for DJ Event Planner. I've used a couple of different ones, so I know what's out there.
Yeah. And there's a lot of again functionality. Things you can use in your business, and it's probably the part that I like the most is looking back at some of the reports and being able to look from year to year and see what's my average per gig for this type of dance, for this type of dance, for this type of dance. When I had multi-system, it's like, okay, how much did this DJ bring in with their shows? And of course, they're here, and here, and mileage track. There's just so many things.
It's got equipment management. It's got employee management. You can see who's available. They can request time off once you sign them to an event. You can send a confirmation email. They have to confirm they're going to take it. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
For $10 a month, for as little as $10 a month, little as.
Obviously, if you're a bigger system with more, it's going to cost more. I mean, it's just the way it is when you're using more services. It does cost more. It's just the way we charge clients too, gang.
Yeah.
It's the way it works. But yeah, great stuff, Cubby.
No, thanks, John. Man, like when you talked earlier about music, and I didn't know we were going to talk for an hour and a half. That's awesome. My kids are probably waiting in their bedroom. Daddy, can we come out yet?
Yeah, we're still. Dad said we couldn't come out if we're hungry and we got to go potty.
The dogs are quiet. I mean, it's been a great night.
Yeah, it's worked really, really well. So thank you guys for watching tonight. Again, go check it out. The link's down below for the list, and go talk to Cubby. He'll get you going with things, and you can use the tools to run your business. Cubby, thank you much for being on.
Always. Thank you, Josh. Always a pleasure. See you at Moblle Beat? You going to be at Moblle Beat?
It's coming up quickly here.
I can't wait. Yeah. We're excited. And if you're at Moblle Beat, stop by our booth.
Yeah, you guys have a booth there. So tomorrow night we'll be back with our shows starting at 9 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Central. No, excuse me, 8 o'clock Eastern. I'm off. We got a full go to djntv.com. Click the schedule link and you'll see tomorrow night. But we've got a full boat tomorrow. I think we have 5 shows tomorrow evening. Oh, it's going to be a busy night. Looking forward to, though. We're going to have some great information. So we will catch you guys tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern. Good night, everyone.